You know, power is a word we throw around all the time. But what does it actually mean? It's not just about presidents and CEOs, not at all. It's this invisible force that's shaping every single one of our interactions. I'm talking everything from asking for a raise to just deciding on dinner with your partner to picking a movie with friends. It's literally everywhere. So let's get real for a second. Think about your own life, your closest relationships, your job, your family. Who really holds the power? It's not always who you think it is, right? The whole dynamic can be super subtle, and it can shift from one moment to the next. And that's exactly what we're going to do right now. We're going to pull back the curtain on these hidden dynamics, take this invisible force, and make it totally visible. I promise, by the end of this, you're going to see your own interactions in a completely new light. All right, you ready? Let's jump in. So first things first, we've got to understand that power isn't just random. It actually operates according to a set of pretty fundamental rules. And once you know the rules of the game, you can start to see how it's being played all around you. Here are the 6 core principles that kind of govern how power works. For one, it's often unbalanced. Some people just have more of it than others. But, and this is key, it's not set in stone. Power can be shared, it can grow, it can shrink. It also creates privilege, giving some people advantages they didn't earn. And it's hugely influenced by culture. What's powerful in one place might mean nothing in another. But the one principle that plays out the most in our daily lives, and the one we're going to zoom in on, is the principle of less interest. So what is this principle? It's actually incredibly simple but so powerful. In any relationship, the person who needs it less holds the power. Think about a job negotiation, a friendship, even a romantic relationship. The person who's more willing or more able to just walk away, they've got the upper hand. This just boils it all down, doesn't it? It's not about who's stronger or who's louder. It's about who is less dependent. If you really need the rewards that someone can give you, or you're just not willing to face the consequences of leaving, well, you have less power in that dynamic. Simple as that. Okay, so if power operates by these rules, where does this stuff actually come from? Well, it's not just one thing. Power is drawn from 3 really distinct sources: the relationship itself, your own qualities as a person, and, believe it or not, the way you actually communicate. First, let's look at power that lives inside the relationship itself. You've got referent power. That's when people admire you and kind of want to be like you. Then there's legitimate power, which comes from a formal role, like being a boss or a parent. You might have expert power because you just know your stuff, or information power, which is all about your ability to persuade people. And finally, you have reward power, giving people good stuff, and its opposite, coercive power, which is the ability to punish. We all use a mix of these all the time, probably without even thinking about it. Now, the second source of power, this one comes from right inside you. And it all comes down to one word: credibility. But here's the catch, and this is so important. Credibility isn't something you decide you have. It's something other people give to you. It's how believable and therefore how influential they find you to be. So what makes someone credible in our eyes? Well, it's really a cocktail of 3 key things. Competence. Do people think you know what you're talking about? Character. Do they see you as honest, as trustworthy? And charisma. Are you just someone people find dynamic and like being around? To have real personal power, you really need all 3. And that brings us to our third source, your message. This part is fascinating because the words you choose can literally build up your power or drain it away in a split second. Powerful language is direct. You make requests, you state facts. Powerless language, on the other hand, is filled with hesitations. Little disqualifiers like, well, I'm not an expert, but, or those little tag questions like, don't you think, that just scream uncertainty. But of course, power isn't always used for good, right? It can get twisted and misused to manipulate and control people. We call these unfair tactics power plays, and they happen all the time, often in really subtle ways. So let's look at how to spot them. Have you ever heard this one? Picture it. You share an idea you're really excited about, and someone just hits you with this phrase. And not because they're surprised, but with this tone of just total disbelief. Yeah, that right there, that is a classic power play. It's called a thought stopper. And the goal isn't to engage with your idea, the goal is to dismiss it, to shut you down, to make you and your idea feel small before the conversation can even get started. Okay, or how about this one? We've all been here. Someone does you a favor, maybe one you didn't even ask for, and then later on, when they want something, they drop this little reminder of the debt you owe them. This is the you owe me play.
It's a seriously manipulative tactic that basically uses guilt as a weapon. By creating this unfair sense of obligation, the person is trying to force you to do what they want. It's not a real exchange, it's a trap.
So what do? You don't have to just take it. There's actually a really clear 3-step way to handle this without making things worse. First, express how you feel using I statements. Second, describe the exact behavior that's bothering you. And third, state a cooperative solution that you can both agree on. This totally changes the game from a power play into a real negotiation. But let's not end on a down note, because power isn't just about spotting the bad stuff. It can be an incredible force for good. When we use our influence to actually help others, we're doing something called pro-social communication. It's a bit of a formal term, but the idea is simple. Pro-social communication is basically any way you communicate with your words, your actions, that's meant to benefit someone else. It's about using your influence not for yourself, but for the good of other people. And this isn't some huge, abstract thing. It's stuff you can do every single day. When you actually listen to someone just to understand them, when you give a real sincere compliment, when you share what you know to help out a coworker, or even when you argue fairly without attacking them personally. That's you using your power for good. And here's the really cool part. It's not totally selfless. All the research shows that when you engage in this kind of pro-social behavior, it doesn't just help the other person. It has this amazing boomerang effect. It actually boosts your own happiness, your own sense of well-being, and gives you a stronger sense of purpose. It's a total win-win. So there you have it. We've made the invisible visible. You can now see the rules of power, where it comes from and how it's used and misused, all around you, every single day. You have more influence than you think. The only question left is, what are you going to do with it?